Katie. How are you today?
Good.
Good. So you know how we talked about last time how some things are easy in school and some things are tricky?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd do some reading together today and some word work just to see how you're doing. And I talked with your parents, and they already know that you're here, and so does your teacher. And they know that I'll be helping you today. So how does that sound?
Good.
Good. Okay, do you need to go to the bathroom before we start?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. So, what are these words?
Heavy, laugh, strange, and expert.
What are these words?
Passage, wreck, amaze, and massive.
What are these words?
Quench, spectacular, mechanic, prudent, wounded, float.
Well done. What are these words?
Epidemic, proximity, embes, judicious, volatile, knave.
Well done. Okay, so I want you to read some words that are not real words. What is this word?
Bab,
Correct. Let's try the next one. What is this word?
hop,
Correct. Let's try another one. What are these words?
yi, kong, sha.
What are these words?
Flip, duds, why.
What are these words?
Bufty, bun hip, knaf, tween.
Good. How about these ones?
Adjects, yang, lappy, zeared, strice, kedge, wiry, waha.
Well done. Okay. So when will Ben and his mom watch a movie? So listen to this. Where what? Ben's mom said, "When your homework is finished, we'll watch a movie." So my question is, when will Ben and his mom watch a movie?
When Ben has done his homework.
Well done. We're gonna try some more of those. Okay. So Chelsea found a spot next to the pool, set down her towel, and put on her goggles. Taking a handful of coins from her bag, she closed her eyes, threw the coins high in the air, and listened as they splashed in the water. For the rest of the afternoon, Chelsea pretended she was diving for sunken treasure. Why did Chelsea throw the coins in the water?
She was pretending it was a buried treasure.
Miguel put a large bowl on the table and washed all the vegetables under cold water. Next, he tore a bunch of green leaves into pieces and put them in the bowl. Then, he sliced the rest of the vegetables and added them. Finally, he picked up 2 large spoons and mixed everything together. He wiped his hands on a towel and called out, "It's ready." What is Miguel most likely making?
A salad.
Well done. The British sport of cricket is generally similar to American baseball. In both sports, each game is divided into innings, during which one team bats while the other fields. One way these sports differ is in how long the games last. Unlike baseball, a cricket game can last from several hours to several days. What is one way the sport of cricket and baseball differ?
Cricket is shorter.
Sarah wakes up early every morning to deliver newspapers. Yesterday, Sarah's friend invited her to a late night concert. Even though Sarah really wanted to attend the concert, she had to tell her friend that she couldn't go. Why couldn't Sarah go to the concert?
She had to deliver paper early in the morning.
The last of the sunlight was fading behind the trees, and Jamar realized it would soon be dark. He continued along the trail, noticing that it split into two directions up ahead. Now that the daylight was nearly gone, he realized he was unsure about which direction he was heading in. He stopped to check his trail map again and found that his hands were shaking. "Stop it," he scolded himself silently. Jamar suddenly regretted not having taken a wilderness training class. Why did Jamar regret not having taken the wilderness training class?
Because he was lost.
Ever since kindergarten, Ling knew she loved to draw and paint. In her high school art classes, she discovered many types of materials she knew she couldn't afford, using only her babysitting money. Lost in thought, Ling began petting her dog. Then she thought of several neighbors who had dogs and were often desperate to find a dog sitter. Suddenly, she smiled and thought, "I'll start my own dog walking business." Why did Ling decide to start a dog walking business?
So she could buy art materials.
Well done. In 1960, Wilma Rudolph became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at the Olympics. Despite this achievement, when Wilma was younger, she could barely walk due to a battle with polio. Although this was an unlikely start for a track and field superstar, Wilma rose above the physical challenges she faced growing up and became one of the most celebrated female athletes of her generation. Why is Wilma Rudolph's success so surprising?
When she was younger, she had polio and could barely walk.
The planet Jupiter features a large storm system that is more than 3 times the size of Earth, called the Great Red Spot. This storm system has been compared to a large hurricane on Earth. However, the Great Red Spot has been raging for at least 400 years. This may be because, unlike many hurricanes, this storm system never passes over land, and it is regularly fed by a heat source in the planet's interior. What can the Great Red Spot be compared to on Earth?
A hurricane.
Well done. More than 1 million years ago, nearly all of Italy was underwater. Recently, Italian researchers discovered a 4 million-year-old whale skeleton 6 miles inland from the Mediterranean Sea. How did a whale skeleton end up 6 miles inland?
Because Italy used to be underwater and whales swam.
An icebreaker is a special type of ship that is used to clear frozen shipping lanes. Contrary to common belief, these ships don't push through the ice. Instead, the specifically rounded, steel-strengthened hulls of the icebreakers allow these ships to rise on top of the ice and break it with their own weight. The ships also use very strong electric motors that have great power, even at slow speeds. When clearing shipping lanes, how do icebreakers break ice?
With their weight.
Well done. Old houses can reveal a lot about the history and lives of people who once lived there. People would often put ordinary objects behind walls or unused chimneys. Shoes are commonly found, as well as keys, coins, and newspapers. The reasons for hiding the objects aren't always clear, but it's always interesting to try and piece together the past. According to the passage, what can old houses help us learn about the past?
About the lives of people who lived there.
Well, yeah. The Amazon rainforest is home to the most diverse species of animals and plants on Earth. Scientists believe that its thick layer of towering treetops sustains nearly half of the Earth's animal species. This upper layer, which absorbs sunlight and water through leaves, provides nutrients for the animal life that live among the branches. Moreover, it shades the abundance of animal and plant life further down. Surprisingly, this rich layer of life has flourished despite sprouting from extremely poor soil. What part of the Amazon rainforest most supports life?
The leafy canopy.
There are two major types of amnesia, retrograde and anterograde. Frequently depicted in television and movies, retrograde amnesia is the inability to remember events from the past. Anterograde amnesia, on the other hand, is the inability to create new memories. One of the most heavily studied amnesiac patients is a man called EP. EP has vivid memories from his childhood but cannot remember new information. Why would a doctor not diagnose EP with retrograde amnesia?
Because the doctor didn't know what he was doing.
Well then. Some settlers to the American prairies built their houses out of sod, which was cheaper and more readily available than wood. Sod provided a home that was cool in the summer and warm in the winter, but heavy rains often seeped through. According to the passage, what are some advantages of building houses out of sod?
They're pretty.
What is another advantage of building houses out of sod?
They didn't leak.
The easiest way to tell the difference between most alligators and crocodiles is by the shapes of their noses. Whereas an alligator has a wide U-shaped snout, the crocodile's narrower snout is V-shaped. With its wider snout, the alligator is able to use its jaws to crush its food, particularly prey, with hard shells, such as turtles. The narrower crocodile snout, although still very powerful, it is not as well suited for eating prey with hard shells. Why do an alligator's jaws have more crushing power than a crocodile's?
Because they like to eat turtles.
Since its beginning, the Cannes Film Festival has earned a reputation for being one of the largest and most highly acclaimed film festivals in the world. At the festival, filmmakers compete for several prestigious awards. Thousands of international journalists cover the event and broadcast the names of award-winning films, directors, and actors to audiences around the world. What do filmmakers hope to gain by winning at the Cannes Film Festival?
A trophy.
You're doing a good job. Okay, right here. Read this word out loud and tell me its opposite.
Hot and its
Oh,
opposite.
sorry,
Oh,
this one right here.
yes, and its opposite is no.
That's right. Let me try the next one. Read this word out loud and tell me its opposite.
The word is big and its opposite is small.
Can you tell me another word?
Little.
That's right. Let's try some more. Read this word out loud and tell me its opposite.
The word is different, and the opposite is same.
And how about the other one?
The word is west, and the opposite is south.
Read this word out loud and tell me its opposite.
Forget, and the opposite is remember. The next one is hungry, and the opposite is starving. And then whisper.
Can you tell me another word?
Hungry is starving.
Good. And the next one?
Whisper is shout.
Can you tell me another word?
Talk.
Okay, well done.
Temporary, and the opposite is permanent. Fictitious, and the opposite is factual. None, and the opposite is all. Pessimist, and the opposite is optimist. Ignorance, the opposite is knowledge. Protagonist, the opposite is antagonist.
Well done. Keep going.
Elevate, the opposite is get higher. Archaic, the opposite is old. Sophisticated, the opposite is fancy. Meager, the opposite is little. Flippant, the opposite is bored. Spry, the opposite is excited.
Okay. Another word for near is close. Read this word out loud and tell me another word that means the same.
Big and large.
That's right. Let's try another one.
Look and see.
Can you tell me another word that means the same?
Look and view.
That's right. Let's try the next one. Read this word out loud and tell me another word that means the same.
Gift and present.
Go ahead.
Mug and cup. Sketch and draw.
Well done. Read this word out loud and tell me another word that it means the same.
Zero and nothing.
Go ahead.
Locate and search. Ancient and old.
Well done. Read this word out loud and tell me another word that means the same.
Tale is story. Equivalent is equal. Teach, educate is teach. Timber is wood. Comic is cartoons. And ponder is consider.
Well done. Go ahead.
Figurine is a toy. Agriculture is nature. Transmit is go. Ballad is music. Inquisitive is silly. Humidity is hot.
Well done. A dog walks a bird.
Fly.
Okay, that's right. Let's try the next one. 1 is to 2 as 3 is to
4.
That's right. Let's try the next one. Snow is to cold as sun is to
Hot.
That's right. Let's try the next one. me the answer.
Love, hate, good, sad.
Go ahead.
Foot, toes, hand, nails. Empty, full, quiet, loud. Night, moon, day, flowers.
I love that. Read this out loud and tell me the answer.
Bear, fur, bird, wings.
Go ahead.
Whisper, soft, yell, talk. Blanket, bed, rug, floor. Walk, run, slow, crawl.
Read this out loud and tell me the answer.
Sponge, scrub, broom, dust.
Go
Red,
ahead.
color. Square, triangle. River, water. Forest, weeds. Plumber, wrench. Painter, paint. Red,
Read this out loud and tell me the answer.
red, stop. Green, go. Fire, hot, ice, cold.
Well done. Go ahead.
Brother, boy. Sister, girl. Eye, see. Ear, hear. Bark, dog. Quack, duck. 8765.
This says the cat is playing with a. What word belongs in the blank space?
Ball.
Correct. Let's try the next one. Read this to yourself and tell me what word belongs in the blank space. Sorry about that.
Isaiah folded the t-shirts and stacked them neatly in the dresser. In.
Good job. Go ahead.
Walking.
He said he was taking grass. Well, he told me that he was.
In. T-shirt. Jump.
Well done. Read this to yourself and tell me what word belongs in the blank space.
Don't.
Go ahead.
And monkeys. Until.
Tell me another word.
Until. And competing.
Well done. Read this to yourself and tell me what word belongs in the blank space.
Formations and brown. She and wrong. She and under.
Everything was fixed with the, I talked to you when the rule being terrifyingly wrong, it was fixed.
Never.
Thank you.
And life and eat.
Doing a good job. Read this out loud. I'm going to keep track, but don't rush. Read it in your regular voice.
It's hard to imagine, but there are over 1 million known species of insects in the world. There are more types of insects than there are other animals. Did you know there are hundreds of thousands of fly species and almost as many different species of bumblebees, wasps, and ants that have been discovered so far? Lots of insects have very sensitive ways of sensing their surroundings. Usually, if they have a developed sense of touch, their vision or their hearing is not as accurate. At the same time, if their eyes work extremely well, their senses of hearing and touch are not as strong. Biologists can consider some insects to be social. Social insect species include termites, ants, and many types of bees. The members of each of these insect species often live together in a big and well-organized groups. These social insects usually have a special talent for finding their way back home.
Well done. Read this out loud, and I'm going to keep track, but don't rush. Read in your regular voice.
Some of the big and tall trees on Earth are the redwood trees. They grow along the California coast. A few redwoods have large tunnels that people have cut through them. The tunnels are big enough to drive a car through. There are also some redwood trees in California that are bigger than the Statue of Liberty in New York. Redwoods are also among the world's oldest trees. Some of them live for over 2,000 years. They are not even fully grown until they are over 400 years old. Redwood trees are evergreens. Other kinds of trees lose their leaves in the winter each year, but evergreen trees have green leaves all year. Redwood trees have big branches with leaves that look like little needles. They also have thick red bark. The bark protects the trees from fire.
Great job, Katie. Thank you so much for reading and doing word work with me today. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks.